Yeah, this world only exists to bring about God's purpose. The entire world, the only reason it exists is like a basketball arena. You could say the only real reason it exists is to play basketball in the arena, right? That's the purpose. So this world is like God's arena, and the only purpose is to play God's game. It's the only reason it exists. If you didn't have basketball, they wouldn't build the basketball stadium arena. If God didn't have a certain purpose for us, He wouldn't have built this world. The people you watching these that really have some like trip against God in the Torah, one thing you can try is when I give over something, you can try to sort of like letting it in instead of being like, "Oh, that's stupid. How can you prove that?" I can see your I can see your mind gonna like sprout like, "How do you prove that God has a purpose?" All this. I used to be exactly like that. I was 100% like that. Whenever a rabbi would tell me anything, I'd be, "Oh, how can you prove that? Couldn't it be the other way?" I didn't really believe that. I just didn't want to take on the yoke of the Torah because it's a big thing. It's a heavy load, and so the way to stop taking in a new idea is to just have a compulsive reaction. It's very immature. So beyond compulsivity is receptivity, and that's how we can really learn something new. Obviously, right? So you don't have to. Yeah, to during these videos, just relax. Don't worry. If we have a connection, you'll have ample time to disagree about everything in a way that's civilized, in a way that's logical, in a way that's step by step. If we're going to work together, you can challenge me to the root. You can challenge me in God's arena, and I fight hard and I fight fair. So don't worry about feeling like you just have to accept everything. No, I love challenges, but I love mature challenges. It's all about sportsmanship and conduct, not compulsive, immature reactions, right? So, the world only exists to bring about God's purpose. Do not be concerned with wealth. Even with it, your life can be in vain. People are always asking me, why'd you end up around Breslov? I grew up in a upwardly mobile Ivy League, everyone goes to the Ivy Leagues type of New England environment, and I felt like there was that compulsivity around wealth. Everyone was just sort of like moths to a flame, just must have the wealth. All life's about getting the wealth. I think wealth is great. I don't think compulsively marching just unconsciously for wealth while you're just kind of a zombie is great. We should do what's right. We should do what's most right. And if we do what's most right and we merit for wealth to come, great. Bring it on. So many good things to do with money. You know what I'm saying? It's the same principle, breaking compulsivity and using consciousness. So breast love for me, once I became Orthodox Jewish, I felt like a lot of the Jewish world was still this kind of compulsive money grab frame of mind, and worse than that, rationalizing how that fit into the Torah. And I didn't feel comfortable right away. Um, thank God I found Breslov. I found Breslov. Um, Now there's a lot of misunderstandings about that. Remy Nachman has Torahs. My Havruta showed me one in Hayam Moharan, which talks about everyone. meriting to receive great wealth. It's a misconception that breast love is only about being only about being poor. Um, okay, do not be concerned with wealth. Even with it, your life can be in vain. Even if you have it, your life can be totally in vain. The world deceives us completely. It makes us think that we are constantly gaining, but in the end, we have nothing. People spend years earning money, but are left in the end with empty hands. Even one who attains wealth, it's taken away from it. What's that story about? There was some king who got buried in a tomb, and he wanted a special casket where there was holes cut in the side of the casket so he could stick his hands out when he was dead. You know, they could because he just wanted to see that he wanted everyone to see that even though he'd been a king who had ruled the world, he left empty-handed. You know, he wanted to be buried with his hands sticking outside his casket empty. Either man and wealth cannot endure together. Either wealth is taken from the man, or the man is taken from his wealth. The two do not remain together. That's what we're talking about. Where are all the riches accumulated since the beginning of time? Where to go? Where to go? People amass wealth since the beginning. Where is it all? It's absolutely nothing. Heavy duty, huh? All right, so Rabbi Nachman, he's like this. What's that saying? Like a fat man going through a thin door. He's like the thin door, and the fat man, he just can't go through fat, right? We just can't go through what Rabbi Nachman's saying and just hold on to all this stuff, our arrogance, our compulsivities, our obsessions. We either have to decide between doing what he said, trying to do what he said, or carrying around all this baggage of many different kinds. In the teacher I trained with for 4 years, Paul Pitchford, he used to say everything comes out in the wash. People would come to him with all sorts of heavy diseases, cancer, AIDS, whatever. He said, I don't focus on the disease. I focus on building your health, building your wellness on all levels. And if you build it enough, the disease will fall away on its own. You know, light and darkness can't coexist in the same room. So we don't focus on the negativity. We focus on the positivity and just building it and building it, building it, and then the negativity falls away on its own. So the fat man who wants to go through the thin door, the fat man can just focus on, wow, that thin door looks so great. I need to get through that door. And if he every day he does his yoga, he eats his greens so that he can get through that door, he's not focusing on, oh, the fat is so evil, I hate my fat. He's focusing on getting through the door, and naturally the fat's got to fall away, right? Don't. The Lubavitch Rebbe famously said, "Don't fight darkness, just build light." Right? Same principle. I was just I started working yesterday with someone in Lubavitch, and they asked me if I'd ever gone to see the Rebbe. And I said no. I really regretted it. Someone had told me about it, told me about the Rebbe, and I said no. I'm my Buddhist master. Why do I need another master? You know, it was I was the fat man. I saw the thin door. The Rebbe. Someone brought me a book about the Rebbe. You know, did you realize this is going on? Wow, this is incredible. This is going on right in Brooklyn. I grew up in Boston, and maybe I should go. Maybe I should go. And then I thought, no, I'm my Buddhist master. Why do I need this? Why do I need this? Why do I need this? No man can serve two masters. You know. And of course, I regret it now. And I had a lot. I was holding on a lot of fat, and if I had just focused on the greatness of the thin door I'd been presented, I could have naturally shed that fat there's a story about it, a teenage girl going to the Rebbe. Her family schlepped her around. If you don't know who the Rebbe was, it was the Rebbe of the Chabad movement who died in the 90s, who was kind of a larger than life spiritual master in New York. So they schlepped this teenage girl to the Rebbe, and she just showed up, I don't know, tank top, whatever, she could care less. And her family was dragging her along, and to their credit, they didn't tell her, you need to dress modestly or else we won't bring you. So everyone's waiting in line to see the Rebbe, and it's a huge line. He used to give out dollars, and they're dragging her to him. And as she starts getting towards him, she doesn't know what's going on, but she starts to feel like kind of really weird about just wearing this tank top. She had no respect for the Rebbe. She didn't know what this was, but she just started feeling weird, and they got closer and closer, and she's feeling like weirder and weirder, like she wishes she could cover up. She's starting to blush and sweat, and they get right next to the Rebbe, like a real attractive, sexy teenager girl. They get right next to the Rebbe. And I think the story goes like he didn't even, he didn't like acknowledge that she was dressed totally inappropriately, and he just like gave her $1 and like gave her a bracha, like same day, another day, another $1, and she just had a huge repentance from that experience. Changed her entire life. He she had been brought through the thin door, and she had to drop her fat to go through that door. You know what I mean? So if we just focus on our goals and we don't focus on negativity, the negativity is going to drop away on its own. Given that the goals are proper, no small thing. That's why the goal, clarifying the goal, is really crucial. If you want to go on 1,000-mile journey, if you're slightly off, a fraction of an inch off in the beginning of the journey, after 1,000 miles, you'll be way off. So we all feel the big journey ahead of us, and the meditation is about just sitting and looking at our entire life and clarifying the ultimate goal in front of us that's pointed straight on. So, one of my friends in America became a big Rebbe at University of Champaign, Illinois. University of Illinois at Champaign. So he told me yesterday, why don't you come to the university, get a degree in physical therapy or osteopathy or something normal that you can get a normal high paying clinic job afterwards. So I thought, I always try to keep an open mind. I thought, well, that's an incredible idea. So I looked up the program. Just looks so boring. I looked at the page. I couldn't even make it through the page. I'm sure it's a great university, a great program. It just to be stuck under some fluorescent lights for the next 6 years, memorizing the names of bones. I couldn't make it through the first page. It felt like the journey just a tiny bit off at the beginning. But nothing's final. It would be great to have some more proper letters after my name. DO, Doctor of Osteopathy. Sound good? So I'm going to start part 2 in a second here. Don't go away. We'll be right back after these spiritual commercials.